Hey, you work today. Good boy. Come on. I have a show at 10 o'clock, so I expect you to do your work. If you have any tests, wait till I'm done. I'm done at noon. Get your ass on. You ratted your brother out yesterday for N-word?
Calling my friend an N-word.
It's your friend the N?
No.
Okay, listen
But
to
it's
me.
racist to his family. You both told him to stop.
Then you tell me. Did I rat you out?
No.
Okay. You don't rat me out because your dad looks crazy. You come to me. Nobody will let you ask. Did I get you on the track yesterday? Did I get everybody involved? Who was it with? Who got involved? And right. So let's
hungry.
Huh? Go ahead.
I don't know why, but I'm hearing a lot of this one.
What? Yes. Yes.
Care about what happened to me, but sorry about last night, Oliver.
Okay, who doesn't care?
About
You don't
the
care?
babies.
Give him a hug. No. Come on, make up you two. You're your best friend.
About last night.
Okay. Now everybody's happy?
You know, because it makes my head straight and it makes.
Is everybody happy now?
Yeah.
Are you happy? I know you're in pain, but you know, excruciating pain.
Oh, yeah.
Pills.
Oh, what did you do last night?
Was it?
Yes, Carson, I heard you farted on me last night.
Well, he ate chili. What is he shitting his pants? Holy chili. He ate.
I ate.
He ate more chili than all the people in Shea City and combined. His ass was a lethal weapon last night.
I know something. This was a cannon.
A cannon was like an atomic cannon.
An atomic bomb. Yeah.
He ate so much chili. He ate so much chili last night. The chili company called. So we're running out of chili.
Wait, Papa.
What?
I made little nukes on
Yeah, I know. I saw a cloud leaving his room last night.
Did you really? Ah, the green one.
Yeah, green bush. My guess is he has skid marks in his pants today.
No, I don't.
What's him? What?
When I go to pants up, when I take this Band-Aid out,
Yeah.
it burns. That's why I want Band-Aids.
Okay, well, lift the pants up there too.
And that's what caused you that.
Yeah, you probably slid on your pants.
Yeah, yeah.
So who likes my sweater today? Look at my American flag.
I do, I like it.
You like that sweater?
Yeah. What do you want from me? Boy, what do you want? What?
Yeah.
You know the second piece of the stairs? I thought that part and the sharp parts of the stairs cut me. No,
I know.
I was gonna tell you something. You know in our last house I fell down the stairs? Going downstairs? Well, I was heading up. I was heading upstairs. I was heading upstairs to my room. I don't really remember. Well, you know, let me finish. I was heading upstairs to my room. I was heading upstairs to my room. I don't remember what. I don't remember what happened, but I might have tripped and fell, and I tumbled back downstairs. Like I somersaulted back downstairs.
When you were an infant, I was carrying you upstairs, and I was hanging onto the banister, different banister, and it broke, and I fell down the steps holding you. And I made sure you were like this.
Also, Papa, remember when I was talking about I tumbled back downstairs. Papa, remember when the banister fell on my head?
Yeah.
It didn't really that hurt. I just got
Yeah, but you've been a little crazy since then.
brain damage.
Brain damage. All I know is I got the two best grandboy kids in the world.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
So go get some tea.
I don't know what to eat.
Those bagels.
Extra buttery popcorn. Extra buttery popcorn. Where's the bagel?
Fridge.
Extra buttery popcorn. I'm eating me some corn. Corn and popcorn.
Last Friday night.
You turn around.
I can't now get too close to the show.
You might have one leak on it.
Huh?
Well, I'm talking to Shadow. If you take one lick off my bagel, you will die.
I killed you.
I kill you. Pops,
Yeah.
I think I know what I want for lunch.
What?
Chili bagel.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what that is?
No.
Bagel covered in chili.
Uh-huh.
A whole shit ton of chili. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. house. I watch TV.
No.
I'm gonna put on the captions.
You cannot what? No.
Why?
Because
I was gonna keep the volume off.
no.
Why?
Go in the living room.
Fuck you.
Hey.
Why?
But you do that.
Fuck you.
Stop.
Wait, is this recording?
Yes.
Oh shoot. Can you edit that?
Yes. I'll edit it later.
Okay.
One, two.
Come here. Come. Come here. Good boy. Oh.
One, two. Hello. Great. Perfect. Woo. Oh, up. 1, 2. Hello. Hello. 1, 2. Hello. Hello.
Hey, son.
No.
What?
Do the show.
It's not needed during that.
Yeah, I do.
Oh. Come.
Hey. Hey. Ian.
What?
What's that noise? Stop. Ian. Hey. What's that noise? Huh? Stop. One, two. Hey. When was Martin Luther King Day, last Monday?
No, it was this Monday.
Yeah, this Monday. Oh, this week.
That background noise? What do you mean? I don't know. Actually, maybe more of those chili chips.
Can we get more?
Do we have any more?
I don't know. I'm gonna have a drag queen on with me today.
Nice.
Chastity Belt. David.
Hey,
Dave.
how you doing, man?
Can you hear me? Dave, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Talk.
Yeah. I've been, figuring you were just busy bee there because you didn't answer the messenger, but that's okay.
My hard drive crashed.
Again.
Well, no. I had no contacts. Now I do. I'm back up and running as of late last night. So I'll call you later today. We have a drag queen joining the show today.
Who's that?
A drag queen?
Nice.
Yeah. Do you know Brad Howard?
No, I don't. I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So so we have an interesting show. We're on live. We're going to be on live on Facebook and YouTube.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a crazy week. I apologize. I
Hey,
won't call you.
no apologies necessary. I like to
And,
see you.
and in the middle of that, we got a new president.
Yay!
Okay, so you can hear you. Oh, one. Okay, you can hear me. Shit, I gotta start soon.
You remember Bella Gigante?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Her birthday today.
Okay, we'll do a shout out or something.
Yeah.
Okay, we're live on that.
I'm gonna get out of San Francisco. Hold on.
1, 2. So you two are here. We got official noises today. Do you hear them?
No,
Okay, so they're not coming through to you there.
I'm in the jungle now. Changed my background.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm up to like my 9th cup of coffee today, and I'm microdosing. So it's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about us hitting up Satellite Coffee for a sponsor.
Also, listen, I was thinking of putting together a sex show one night a week.
A sex show?
Yeah, and like going to like Castle Megastore as a sponsor and things like that.
Hey, I think Satellite Coffee, there's also a small coffee bean brewer down here that might be interested in doing a little sponsorship, and we put up their brand. It's Rio Grande Coffee, I think it is. And
yeah, okay, and we have to also, what's that? Dutch Brothers coffee popped up all over.
I'm not familiar with that, but I'm buy whatever there's there. But this local group is in I think Bosque Farms or Peralta.
Oh, really?
They're like
cool.
Small and want the word out. I should hit them up, huh?
Oh, somebody should, because you could use as much help as possible. It's getting harder and harder to keep the show.
Yeah, coffee's a real unifier.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we could do a little shout out to them, do a coffee mug salute.
Yep.
Yeah,
like a morning coffee club or something.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good idea. Okay, we're gonna go live in about a minute. I'll play some music first, kill some time.
When we go live, I'll put out my smoke. I got a stern warning. I had a really good report for my veins because we went and checked because I'm in pain.
Yeah.
And the guy looked me right in the eye and said, "Well, you smoke, so you're going to have premature death."
Yeah.
I just went like, "Whoa, that's pretty harsh."
Yeah, really. How do you really feel? Well, I used to smoke 3 packs a day.
I understand. Well, his warning was not heart attack. He says we can deal with that. He said it's stroke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The guy,
I had 2. I had 2. I had 2 heart attacks. I quit smoking 35 years ago. I used to smoke 3 packs a day and a pipe in between.
Wow.
And I used to wake up. I used to wake up in the middle of the night for a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I started late in life. I didn't smoke almost my whole life, and I only started about 20 years ago. So
yeah, I started early. My wife still smokes. She can't quit it for nothing. Okay, I'm gonna go live now. You ready?
I'm ready.
Don't talk. It's okay. I'm gonna play music first. So don't start.
I'm gonna put out my smoke.
Yeah, don't worry. 1, 2. Okay. Let's start. Good morning from New Mexico. I hope everybody's doing well today. It's Elliot over in Your Mom's Radio, and I have David on with me right now. We're going to listen to this tune by Spiritual High. The tune is called Spiritual High. It's called Mood Swings, and you're going to hear Dr. Martin Luther King in the middle. I'm playing this because last Monday was Martin Luther King Day, and this is a beautiful tune. It's the I Have a Dream speech. So kick back, listen, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Again, welcome. Okay, we're off.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I was thinking, Elliot, I think this show is really important. You know that.
Yes.
Because we kind of fill a niche that nobody really fills. And
right.
So when I wanted to have that meeting, with you and Morrow and Andy,
okay.
and you get this thing set up so we can be, YouTube friendly and all that, and set up little sessions and all that.
Yeah.
We can then go to GoFundMe, and I think we would be successful.
Well, good morning, Morrow. Well, let's when's a good time for us to talk? Just let me know. Last week was a horror show.
It was.
Hey, Morrow, supposedly I'm waiting for Chastity Beltoff to join the show today.
Oh, yeah?
Cool. Yeah. You know Brad, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the Dolls together.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. I went over to, I forgot the name of the club. It's not there anymore. And I used to have this guy, there was a bum who used to hang out in front of the bar. He would help me load my equipment in and out, I toss him $5 and he'd help me move on my gear. Anyway, I go in one night, it's drag queen night. And I had to meet, I had to meet the owner of the club. I was having my daughter's 30th birthday party there. And I had to, take care of some details. So as I drive up and I park in front of the club, the guy who helps me, the homeless guy grabs him. He says to me, he knew Laura, he knew my wife too, because she used to come with me a lot. He says, "Listen, I hope you're not coming here to pick up women tonight, because they're not really women." He says, "I don't know if you know anything about this." He says, "It's men who dress up as women. So I would go home to you. I'd go home to your wife and just stay at home tonight."
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's what some men prefer.
I know.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. We have several friends that really like drag queens.
The guy thought he was doing me a favor, though.
Right.
Are we going live?
No. We're going to go live right after this tune. We have, I don't know what about a minute.
Well, I could do a little story here too about, I was up in Quebec, I lived there for a while, and there was the Paris production, the famous
review. The review
coming through, and they had a relative that lived in Quebec City, and so I'd go down to the local, meet up the gay bar, and which is totally different in Quebec, of course, but
right.
We'd go down there, and I was the odd man out, kind of. And so they put the spotlight right on me, of course, and kind of drew me out of my shell. And this one guy, he's beautiful. He was absolutely gorgeous, and he steps up to the stage, and he starts speaking French, and he said, "Oh, I apologize. I should speak English for that American over there, because really in Quebec they don't speak French."
Right. Okay, wait a second. Before we're gonna start. But quiet. We're gonna start, but before we start, Morrow, what do you think about doing a sex show one night during the week?
Hell yeah.
Okay, my friends, and we are back, and it's Not Your Mother's Radio. And what I'm gonna do is give you guys a fancy. What's going on here? Here we go. Here we go. A fancy intro. Wow, just like real radio. And
do I get theme music?
Yeah, you're gonna get theme music and everything. So we got some of our some of the usual suspects on with us so far. we have David Wiley, of course, he was here a little earlier. I introduced him earlier. And Mauro Walden Montoya is with us. And again, I have to thank Mauro for helping us keep the show afloat. Him and his
Absolutely.
him and the winning company, contributing to help the show stay up and running because again, we're listener funded. So anybody out there, feel free to assist. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so we have we're expecting another guest today, and it's somebody new to the show, but somebody who we all know, and that's Chastity Beltoff. And Chastity should be here any minute. I guess she's having trouble getting into her Spanx today or something, right? I know I had trouble getting into mine today. It's been, sitting at home it's hard. Everybody's
But nobody's watching. I put Spanx on my cheeks.
I know. Yeah, I know. And so anyway, it's going to be a fun show today. Every Saturday, it's going to be a little different than what you guys are expecting. So let me just fill you in on some things. It was Martin Luther King Day this week, and we still have a lot to learn from Dr. King. We're definitely not there yet, and if anything, we got a little further, but we'll fix it now. Things are getting better, and it's hard to believe that we have a new president for only 3 days. I know you know what? It seems like it seems like years, doesn't it?
It does, because he's already accomplished more in 3 days than the idiot did in 4 years.
Yeah, but the whole thing, but the whole thing is, he's only been in office noontime to the 10 o'clock our time, noon Eastern time. It'll be 3 full days that he's been the president, but it seems like he's been there for years.
Oh yeah. He has.
Well, I mean, he has, but not in the presidential role. And I think he was smart enough and in tune enough to start his presidency early. He actually had everything ready to roll. Wednesday he just rolled the show into the White House, and boom, it
had the executive orders ready to go like that.
Yeah.
He signed 17 that first day and another 20 or something the second day.
Yeah. And there's no big deal about it. There's not 14 people behind him, taking the pens out of his hands.
Yeah. Well, it's not about him. It's about us, and that's the
right.
Yep. And he knows that.
Hey,
Andy's here.
Hi,
Okay,
guys.
Andy's here.
Hi, guys.
Now, wait. Stop. Before I have a question. I'm glad Andy's here. I happen to be a very cute guy, and I know that.
All right. Yes,
but which side?
sir.
What side do you guys like better? This is my Rock Hudson side, and this is my Shirley Temple side.
Okay.
Which side do you think I should keep the cameras on?
the one in
It
the
depends
middle.
on.
I think for this show, let's do Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's this. Okay.
Yeah.
Although some
yeah.
people would like Shirley Temple too.
Shirley Temple is my grandmother's favorite actress.
Yes,
But,
that's Rock. This is Rock, Shirley, and me. I'm in the
I
middle.
think Rock will bring in more.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our first problem that's been taken care of. Okay, so we were talking about the president today, and don't you feel like a ton of weight was taken off your shoulders this week?
I do. I've actually slept this week for the first time in a while without worrying about the world.
I know, and you know what? And MSNBC's not on as much as it was on, right?
Thank God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Started watching other channels, and so
one of the things he did this week is he signed an executive order directing the government to fulfill the Supreme Court case that said that sexual orientation and gender identity is covered under Title 10.
Absolutely.
And that was a huge ruling, but Trump had blocked the federal government from implementing it. Now, by executive order, Biden has instructed all the government agencies to implement it.
Wow.
So that's huge for us.
Yeah, man.
And then I want to throw out too on my end. They stopped the Arctic drilling.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yep. And they stopped the Keystone Pipeline.
So there's a lot of good happening, and and nobody ever thought it would happen, you know, and the transfer of power went down peacefully, finally, you know, the transfer of office finally went down peacefully on Wednesday. You know, Trump left town early. You know, he threw a little hissy fit, but he left. But
Yeah.
now all the people that were running around, you know, were hating this and hating that, and you know, doing this and doing that, they're gonna hide again under the rocks.
Yeah.
You know.
I hope so.
Yeah, but you know what?
I don't want them to hide under the rocks. I want them to be
No.
rooted out.
Right, and that's the whole thing. We need them to be, you know, we need them to be, you know, out in the open, so we know what we're aiming for. So, guys, you see this?
Yeah.
I had to get that from my microphone because I started sounding like Sylvester, the cat, suffering. I had this high whistle. Yeah. So for $8, I should sound like a real pro now. At least I'm not whistling in between my speeches. Suffering.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what, in case anybody's, you know, I got real fancy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I saw a report yesterday that said the FBI expects more than 1,000 people to be charged for the Capitol incident, which I'm really happy about. And I'm super happy that idiot in Gordo got arrested. I hope I was not the only one who turned him into the FBI, because I was proud I did that. They told me to save his videos because they might need them for evidence, but I'm sure they've got them because they, you know, said that they had some. But our attorney general here in New Mexico has called on him to resign, and if he doesn't resign, they're going to go after him. The attorney general's office is going to sue to get rid of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the coin flipped so quick, right? We're on the other side of the coin now. It happened, you know, it happened overnight. And I don't know about you, but you know, I'm dancing in the streets with
Naked,
clothes on, with some clothes on sometimes, and
yeah, only because it's cold.
it gets cold at night. But you could find me out there between 9 and 11 at night, in case you're interested.
Do you have sparklers?
Yeah. So we're thinking of all you listeners out there. You know, Saturday is more or less you know, a family kind of safe show. We get a little crazy, but we're thinking of putting together a show that's going to be for the adults. It's going to be run later at night, and it's going to have more of a you know, an adult theme to it. If you guys think that's going to, if you like to listen to something like that, you know, text me.
You consider us adults, is what you're saying? I don't know about that. You consider us adults. I don't know.
Well, Dave, I don't want to hurt your feelings. You're old enough to be an adult. How you act, and you know what the show is. I'm not your mother. I'm not your mother. You're allowed to do what you want. This is so yeah. So you know, we're thinking of doing a show. Maybe have, you know, some adult topics and things like that, and we're going to talk about it offline. And we have a couple of other things brewing. David, who helps the show out immensely with his stories and other things, would like to do. What's your idea, Dave?
For the adult thing?
No. For the YouTube channel and stuff.
Oh, well, I think, you know, Mauro and Andy and you and me, these 4 people right here on the screen, we need to get ourselves real friendly with YouTube. We have so much to offer, and set up sessions so we start get a following. And, you know, we could GoFundMe right there. I mean, GoFundMe. I mean, I can see so many connections between us.
Which is, we'll talk about that during the week. It's a great idea. So what do you think? We lost David. We lost his picture.
We did?
Yeah, David's gone. But I just, what's with drag queens? How come I can't keep a drag queen on the show? I got a text that
They think they're Latinas.
Yeah,
Chastity's not coming on?
Chastity has a bad sore throat and a cough. So she'll be here next week, guys. I'm sorry that I teased everybody and talked into coming on the show today with promises of a drag queen of joining us. But David said if we have time, he'll try to get into his drag costume. Right,
well, you know what? I want to say something real quick, because you know, this little device that I
Wait,
use
wait,
to
wait,
Zoom.
Dave, I know you. You cannot say anything quick.
Well, it does have. That's all I'm saying. And that damn phone interrupted right away, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what just happened. You know, I screened the call, but it shuts me out.
You know what you have to do? There's a setting on your phone that says do not disturb, I think. Yeah.
This is Chastity
that's
Bell.
Chastity.
you go.
There's Chastity. Yeah.
There's Miss Chastity.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, so Chastity will
Gorgeous.
be with us next week, and she apologizes, but she has a sore throat and a cough.
Oh,
And,
Mom, you know, it's Bella's birthday today.
Whose birthday?
The governor's?
It's
No.
Bella Gigante.
Oh, Bella Gigante,
it's
yes.
Bella's
Birthday.
birthday.
yeah,
Okay.
is
Yeah,
Bella listening to the show? How's
Great.
Bella doing? Didn't she leave us?
She is in Missouri these days.
How's she
But she
doing there?
can very easily be on the show. Moved in, I think her father passed away and moved into the house.
Right.
Yes, but how is she doing okay? I know she was
She's doing
worried.
okay.
Yeah.
I think she misses Santa Fe and New Mexico very much. We
Yeah,
miss her very much.
She was Santa Fe pretty much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
said it was home.
Yeah.
We used to have so much fun. We went to when they had a club called the Skylight. We went up and we watched her show, and then we went out.
Right.
We went to that club, the Skylight, and there was a huge line to get in.
Uh-huh.
And we just walked up with Bella in full drag and us, you know, tagging along behind her. And everybody's like, "Oh, Bella, 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 come on in, come on in." And Bella's like, "My friends are with me." They're like, "Come on in, come on in." So we got in like immediately with no cost because it was like a $20 cover. And we go inside and everybody's like, "Oh, Bella, Bella." The guy runs up with flowers. Where the hell he got flowers? We have no idea. But, "Bella, here's flowers for you." She's like, "Okay." "Bella, here's a drink for you." Bella looks back at us and says, "It's good to be the queen."
That's right. you know how I met Bella. I went up to the radio station up there. I was working on something with the radio station at the time, and they would do some advertising for the wedding show. We were talking about stuff like that, and we have a drag, we do drag queen MCs for the show. And we wanted to talk to Bella. Bella was going to actually run the show for us. And that's how we met Bella. And then when the show started, during the COVID thing, we had to cancel 2-3 times already. And
Sure.
I'm sorry that Bella's not going to be in Santa Fe. But we have more drag queens, so don't worry, guys. We'll be figured out.
Drag queens are like rabbits. They multiply like crazy.
Yeah. If I have to dress up, I'll do it. Don't worry. They'll definitely,
And don't shave. Definitely do not shave for it.
no, definitely not. So that's who we are. And did the community lighten up a little? People starting to start congregating again?
Not really. Still
Okay.
can't. We're, Bernalillo County's still in red status, so we can't
Right.
yet.
That's true too.
It's been rough. There's a lot of people who are feeling very alone. There's a friend of ours who has been going through really rough cancer treatments. He posted this morning that he has some decisions to make and he hope he acts with wisdom. His choices are going back in for serious radiation treatments for cancer and a bone marrow transplant or hospice. So basically he's like, do I put myself through all this stuff or do I just give up? So we want to wish him very well. Our friend named Paul, we want to wish him very well.
And it's not giving up.
No,
that's
it's
what I can say.
choosing. It's choosing how you want to die with dignity or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not giving up. You're just picking an alternate. My dad had lung cancer, and this is a man. He was really never sick in his whole life. Anyway, my mother was the sick one. She had a bad heart, and she had congenital heart failure, like I do, and she was diabetic and cute like me. I take it from my mother's side. So anyway, only hers was darker. And anyway, he went first. Like just boom, it happened. And and but he had cancer, and it's really, really, it's not pretty, you know? There's no,
No,
there's-
that's
it's
exactly
not a
what my
good
dad
ending.
passed away from, was lung cancer. And he
Yeah, and
never
it's not-
smoked.
Yeah, well, my dad gave it up a year or two before. He smoked a lot. But yeah, it's, you know, cancer's tough. It's just not pretty.
Yeah.
You know, there's, you know, it's just, it sucks. And that's the next thing that has to be worked on after this COVID
Yeah.
thing.
I had
Everybody,
hoped to escape it in my life, but I didn't.
yeah.
My mom had colon cancer in the 80s, and let's see, she moved to California with my sister, and I think it was 2010 or 2011, I forget. But yeah, I think it was 2011. She got there in August, and on Halloween, they had to take her to the ER because she was really sick. And they put her under and had to do emergency surgery because she had a colon blockage, and they found out it was scar tissue from the cancer.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I think, wait, come over here, Laura.
No, I'm not wearing makeup.
Oh.
And it ain't gonna happen if that's the case.
Laura's like Gigante. She will not go in front of a camera without makeup.
Yeah, nope.
My mom wouldn't either.
It's
Yeah.
your birthday
Oh.
today.
Whose birthday is it?
It's Gigante's birthday.
Yes.
Oh, so yesterday was the 8th anniversary of my mom passing away, and I'm telling this because she was just like that. She wouldn't go out without her face on.
Yeah.
She
I saw
fell
the
on her head in the middle of the night and had this. And the next morning, my brother called me and said, "We need to take her." So I went over there, and she had this giant purple bruise on her head. So she's getting ready, and we're like, "Mom, come on, we got to take you. We got to take you." And she's like, "No, I'm not ready yet." So when she came out of the bathroom, she put her face on. She got her own makeup on, but she put makeup. Her eyeshadow matched her bruise. And we're like, "Mom, seriously? Like, really? You matched your bruise to your eyeshadow?"
Nice, nice.
So when we got to the ER, even the nurses commented on it. It was pretty
Well,
funny.
That's dedication to the end. That is
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I saw
Yeah.
those photos you put up. She looked like a pretty wild lady.
Yeah, she was fun.
Yeah, she was spirited.
And she loved Andy. And I have to say, so my mom was the kind of person that would, you know, when she'd get mad at somebody, she'd call him that,
Uh-huh.
like that Maudo or that, you know. So she with my sister-in-law, she'd say that Dawn, or my brother-in-law, she'd say that Eric, my sister's husband or my brother's wife.
Uh-huh.
And they got mad at Andy because Andy's the only in-law that never got that. He never got a that.
There you go.
Andy.
Never got that. Yeah, good. You,
Smile
Andy.
and nod, and you know,
Uh-huh.
keep him in
Yeah.
line. She's like, "Thank God, I don't have to do that anymore."
It's,
Somebody else has
and
to keep him in line.
and you see, me and Andy got the memos. It was supposed to be black, it was supposed to be black cardigans today, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, see?
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the emblem?
About that, you know, makeup
This
on your
this is a-
face.
this happens to be a Japanese company. It's it's.
Oh my God, what are you doing there,
Yeah.
Eliot?
Yeah.
Is this the adult section of the show?
Yes. I'm allowed to do anything I want, but I can't show nipple.
Throw something out real quick, you know, about the power of putting it on your face, the makeup.
Yeah,
And
right.
my daughter at a very young age had to have thyroid surgery, and they did a whole job across her chest, you know, that big scar and the whole thing. And, you know, she had to deal with in middle school, you can imagine,
Yeah.
that she aside. And what she did is she started making jewelry, and she would put the jewelry on to match the scar.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
that's how she came out of her shell, where she matched the scar and made
Good
it.
for her.
She was. I was transfixed by this young woman doing that. It was amazing. Totally. Amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does she still make jewelry?
I'm sorry.
Does she still make jewelry?
Yes, she does. She makes jewelry. She makes hats.
Oh, cool.
She does a lot of very makes clothes, all sorts of really
Well,
cool stuff. Yeah.
Is she in New Mexico?
Funny story. She used to have a little what do you call it when they go to the farmer's market, have their little tent up, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she had a following of people that bought clothes from her and everything. And
Cool.
and you know what? She's a gorgeous young woman, and and these young guys, of course, would circulate around this little tent. I mean, they had their eye on that young woman. Anna had me there to help her out, be dad, so forth.
Sure.
And I finally turned to her and said, you know what, sweetheart, they should be more concerned about me being concerned about them than them being concerned about you.
I was gonna say, did you get a stick and beat them off?
Yeah, yeah, she just laughed. It's real life, man.
Wow. So you know what? Let her let her contact Laura over at the show. We have the website. We're looking to, to get some local merchants who want to, show off their wares and stuff. We'll do it through the radio if you like, Dave.
Where does she live, David?
That's a good question. She's one of those, the moss doesn't grow under her feet, so she's a world traveler. And
Wow.
I believe right now she's in California.
Okay.
She's staying up there. She also, I could put this on air, why not? She also is a major trimmer of beautiful Humboldt products.
Cool.
And it's a little secretive, in that respect. And so she's very involved with that. Lived in Portland for a long time. I think she might be up in that area right now. She's a little elusive.
Uh-huh. Well, off the
spirit.
grid, off the grid type stuff, huh?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's pretty
Find out more about her from my friends that live in California that I communicate with regularly, and she communicates with them more than she does me, which is, her choice, right?
I think it's probably pretty normal, honestly.
I think so. I think, like I told them many, 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 many years ago when they used to go, Dad, don't do that. Well, it's not to embarrass me.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yep.
would not have said that because, I can be an embarrassment, and, that's who I am.
That's what fathers are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
So,
was if I can find it.
So, have you guys been listening to the Monday night shows? Or is it on too late for you?
Well, I'm going to apologize right up front, Eliot, that I'm not a listener kind of guy in that respect, and so I could stream it, but I'm a cheap ass, and I'm not going to pay the money out. So,
Well, don't feel bad. Let me tell you about it. It's
I do,
it's called.
because I follow you a lot, but it's pretty much what we're doing right now.
I know. So Monday night we do destroy all rational thought radio, and I do that. I do it with a producer. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Bill Laswell.
No.
I'm sure you haven't, but Bill's produced over 4,000 albums. And he's the man who discovered Whitney Houston. And he, Rocket, remember that Herbie Hancock cartoon?
Yeah.
Robots. Yeah, he wrote that. He produced it. That's all Bill. He did Mick Jagger's first album. And I'll tell you a funny story before I tell you about Bill. The Rolling Stones came to him and said, Bill, we'd like you to do our next album. This was, this was a while ago. And Bill said to him, you know what, Mick, I just did your album with you, and I don't really feel like being bored for the next 12 months. I'm done. Find a new producer. And he walked away from the Rolling Stones. Amazing,
Wow.
Yeah. So so I'm doing a show with Bill on Monday nights. And Bill supplies me with the with the talent and the music. And he's pretty aloof. He's like,
Okay, so I want you to remind us of the time.
Yeah. I'll tell everybody about that. But Bill's been, he's been great, and you have to get to him. You have to go through his Japanese girlfriend first, and she's not great with English. So by the time Bill gets the message, it's it's entirely different from what you set out to do. but he's very, very aloof. He's going to be on the show. He does some live things with me. But if you guys like experimental type stuff, it's the name of the show is Destroy All Rational Thought Radio, and I produced it with Bill Laswell. And why I'm talking about it now is, first of all, I want you to get your butts out there and listen to it. But also, we're looking for talent. If there's any experimental avant-garde people listening to the show, we'd like to get their music played. We'll be happy to get it on air for you. I just got some stuff from Poland, from some Polish avant-garde guys. That's crazy. I'm going to be playing that, I think, part of that Monday night. And Sam Morrison, who was Sam was one of Miles Davis's last tour players. He's going to stop by the show Monday night. Me and Sam, pretty tight.
Wow.
But another thing, New Mexico, Sam just moved to Truth or Consequences.
Oh, you're kidding.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah. So Sam is there, and he hooked up. He had a bass player friend who lives there too, and there's some avant-garde drummers, some Japanese drummer in Truth or Consequences that I'm looking for. It's supposed to be amazing, and so I don't know. Truth or Consequences, that could be the next musical haven. Is that going to be the new San Francisco? I don't know.
Well, Domus Howe has been there for many years. He's a homoerotic artist, and he's got pieces in the Albuquerque Museum and in New York and different places.
You could be great on the late night show. You know everybody. I actually
know
saw
several people in PRC. Actually,
I saw his exhibit online a couple of weeks ago. You saw him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did. We went down there and saw it. We actually we
Yeah.
bought a painting. We need to go down and pick it up. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We bought
So-
the one I could afford.
The little one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it was actually one he did in 1963, I think.
Early 60s.
Yeah,
It was a
early
study from the
60s when he was in New
60s.
York.
Yeah.
It was a
I had
kind of a.
I had an original Salvador Dali print,
Oh,
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
and but that's the best. That's the good part of the story.
Okay.
Yeah, years and years ago, when we were living in New York, we had a beautiful apartment in Freeport, and we were pretty, I was in the music business. Laura was an artist. It was a pretty cool looking place, and we had the printout. Anyway, we get these two cats, and we go to work. We do what we do, and we come home, and the print is on the floor, all scratched up. And
Oh, no.
the cats use it. Then the cats use it as a litter box.
Oh,
That's what they thought of
No.
Dolly.
yeah. Salvador,
That's
something-
when cats would die.
something tells me
Yeah.
Salvador Dali
Yeah,
would
well, they
appreciate
did.
that.
No, we kept them, but
Yeah.
it was heartbreaking. I mean, it was just
Yep.
something we cherished. And you know which one it was? You ever see Dolly Vision?
Yes. Oh my
You know
God.
the Link,
that's-
the Lincoln. You know the one with Lincoln?
Yeah.
It's the woman, and if you look through the little viewer, it
Yep.
turns into Lincoln. That's
Yeah.
It was that one. And
Oh wow.
yeah. So that's. I
Well,
stopped
speaking of
collecting
strange
art.
things, this just popped up on Instagram. Let's see if we can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing that Bernie meme.
I love that. Isn't that the greatest?
It's Bernie and Don Schrader, our
Yeah.
own
Wow.
little icon of strangeness.
Wow.
It's an
Nice.
ad for the Rail Yards Market. They're saying both
It's
Bernie and
incredible.
Don are turning up at the Rail Yards Market.
And you know what? It's incredible. He'd be president today if this happened prior to the election.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
This meme made him so popular that
Yeah.
it's amazing where I've seen him. And people are brilliant to how they're thinking of ways to.
Taking
Yeah,
off
it's a lot of fun.
gloves and the whole thing, and that guy's going to be in control of the budget.
Bernie, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. He is, huh?
That's right. This guy's not going to sit around, just like our president right now. They're going to act. And
I wish
Yeah.
Schumer had more balls, because Schumer's like playing games with these stupid Senate rules, and that means the Republicans are still in charge of all the committees, even though the Democrats should be in charge.
Yeah,
And it's
well,
because
that
Mitch McConnell wants to keep the filibuster so that he can be as obnoxious as possible. I would just say, fuck you, we're voting on him right now. We have a majority. Go to hell. We don't care about you anymore. You did this shit to us. You can sit in the background now.
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah.
not gonna, well, that's not, you know, that's not gonna happen.
Their
I
whole,
know,
Right.
because Schumer has no balls.
Well, and that's
Yeah,
why you're not
yeah.
the Senate leader.
their whole strategy is to win. They don't really care what it is, but they win. They want to win. And I think
Exactly.
we should take advantage of the fact that they're divided all over the map. I mean, the Republican Party is really in serious trouble right now. And we should keep them right off on the sideline.
You know
and let
what?
it
But
out.
that's what, we
Right.
discussed this. I personally think it's a game. It's like professional wrestling, you know? Hulk Hogan would fight the, you know, the evil guy that week, and then you see them going out to lunch, you know? And I
Yeah,
think that's what we have in our government. The Republicans and Democrats, they put up a good front. You see them fighting on stage and everything else. And I think when the lights are down and the cameras are off, they go out to lunch together. I don't know. It's just
a lot of them
nothing ever
do.
gets
Yeah.
done.
A lot of them
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's the
And,
theater.
and it's one thing if they did that and got things done, but they're doing that and just
And not getting things done. I mean, that's what they used to do.
Yeah.
Like, they used to cooperate.
yeah. When Kennedy was still, you know, when the Ted Kennedy was still around, and
Yeah.
you get some legitimate heavyweights. Now it's all a game.
And
I
even
think these guys-
Reagan and what was his name that was the speaker? Was it Tom Foley? No.
Tip O'Neill.
Tip O'Neill. They
Yeah, Tip.
actually got along, you know, even though they were from different parties and had totally different ideas, they actually got
Yeah.
along and
Well,
did some stuff.
Up to what's his name? Mick. The guy that Trump hated. What was from Arizona?
Oh, John McCain.
Yeah, John McCain.
Oh.
McCain got along with Democrats. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he did. Yeah, he did.
yeah,
Yeah.
he did. And
Even Bob Dole did.
I thought it was ironic when that whole thing switched over and, you know, Trump became the dude. I thought it was ironic that I looked at McCain, who is on the total opposite side of the spectrum for what I believe would become my hero.
right,
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how far off we were right there.
Yeah.
right. But he was pretty cool when they were making those comments about Obama too. You remember that there was
Yeah.
that video clip where that woman said that he's an immigrant, he's not American, and McCain said, you know what? He is American. He happens to be a great family man. Me and him have some differences in political theory. That's why I'm going up against him. But he's definitely American, and you
Yeah.
don't get that anymore, you know. And
Yeah.
you know, it just and it wasn't that long ago that we had it. You know, it's not like it was centuries or decades. You know, McCain
Right.
passed away
What long ago?
2 years ago, right? 3 years ago.
You know,
Um,
I kind of didn't. I didn't like McCain's little thing when he said bomb, 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 bomb Iran. I mean, you know, that's what I'm talking about.
I
Right.
know, but you don't have to agree with him. But
Yeah,
he was,
exactly.
he
But he
was a
still treated
gentleman
everybody
about
with
it.
respect.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Exactly. You know, you
Yeah.
treat him with respect, and you know, I'm really hoping that's going to come back in. You know, we've got
Yeah,
to
well,
understand.
Yeah.
I saw a Twitter thread where Mark Ronchetti posted that Senator Lujan had reached out to him about, because I guess apparently Mark Ronchetti, who I think is an idiot, but you know, I mean, you know, I wouldn't do that. Apparently he and his family were getting threats. And Senator Lujan reached out and said if there's anything his office could do, and Mark Ronchetti posted about it and said, you know, I appreciate the fact that he did that. And other people were along the same thread. And then somebody made a nasty comment about Lujan, and a woman took him to task for it and said, look, you know, this is a thing, a thread about respect. And Mark Ronchetti was saying, you know, was doing that, was respecting what Senator Lujan had done for him and was appreciating it. Why do you have to be so nasty and negative? So I was glad to see that, because a lot of people were taking her side. You know, why are you being such an obnoxious idiot?
You know, I have a little backstory on Mark Ronchetti. When I lived in Northern California, he was the weatherman for the local station over there, and this was, you know, a ways back. And when I moved here, which is been 20 years now, I was shocked to see him on the weather station here in New Mexico. And that whole thing came out about, you know, we're proud of New Mexico and blah, 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 blah. I already knew the dude's from Northern California. I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's not from here.
No, he's not from
Yep.
here. And you know what? Lujan is from here. What can we say?
Yeah, his families have, been here forever.
Yeah, forever. There's a specialness to New Mexico politics. It's not large, it's family oriented, it's community first. And those kinds of values are something that they don't understand when they get up to Washington, other people. They don't understand that. So what about that Harold woman that
She needs to go.
I agree. I was really surprised she won. I was really surprised because I think that, what's her name?
So she,
Yeah. She's an awesome person. And I hope she maintains that integrity and moves back right up in there because she has a lot of support.
yeah.
And I was really sorry to see that happen.
They apparently
Yeah.
registered a whole ton of Republicans in that district in the 2 years since she won. That's why she lost.
Oh,
So the Democrats need to do the same thing and get more people to vote and be out there.
yeah.
And I think they're going to,
Okay.
we have reapportionment coming up, and they're
Yeah.
going to shift some of that district so that it's a little bit bluer.
Nice.
Yeah.
When are they going to do a vote on cannabis this year?
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
It's, obviously COVID is everybody's priority, but the governor still wants to pass not medical marijuana, like marijuana sales. She wants to get rid of and the legislature now wants to get rid of the anti-abortion law, the antiquated law that's on the books here in New Mexico from 1969.
Right.
And that's going to pass because we knocked off most of the senators and, that were opposed to it. They were all Democrats, but they were conservative Catholics who wouldn't do it. And they got challenged by a lot of really pissed off women, and most of them lost.
Yeah.
Speaking about a big Catholic, political thing, whatever. You see the women holding up the signs. Don't let your rosaries control my ovaries.
Oh.
I love that.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
so,
hilarious.
yeah, that was pretty cool. I saw that the other day. Okay, so look, let's stop talking about serious stuff. It's time to have some fun here.
Okay.
And it's politics and all that other crap. I don't get too personal, and don't forget it's a Saturday morning. What's everybody be doing for recreation during COVID? Anything with your clothes on? I mean,
Yeah.
Last Monday, Andy was off work, so we went up to the foothills at the La Cueva Trail, the head of the La Cueva Trail, and did a short little hike there. So that was really nice.
Yeah. Cool.
I had done a wedding last Saturday up there for a couple of really wonderful, beautiful gentlemen. They're so sweet.
I saw your photos.
Yeah, and they were staying with, because one of them's a traveling nurse and the other one can work from wherever. So they had been in Houston for a long time, and then they were here and they were staying with his one of them's father and grandparents, and didn't want to take anything home to him. So he was trying to be pretty careful. But they were moving to Reno. They decided to get married, and we picked that place. They wanted to find out, so I suggested that place. They loved it, but they wanted to have like a little lunch afterwards. So we offered our home, and they came here. It was a nice day. We sat outside. They had a cake, they did the whole thing, and they were like, it was perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. We didn't want a huge wedding. We wanted a small one, and that was really nice for them. So
you guys have a big heart when you guys get involved.
I agree.
Yeah, Mauro, you don't only perform the wedding, you kind of move in with the couple, and you know what I mean.
Wait, you're not doing that right.
Yeah. That's what Laura does too. And no, I'm telling you, we'll get somebody who's wedding we're going to do something like that. And Laura says to the mother and the mother-in-law, I apologize up front. I don't want to get in your way, but it's my show from here on in. That kind of thing. And so yeah. So and a lot of the brides thank her, and they say to her, off, when they have her alone, thank you. He said, I can never tell my mother-in-law to be quiet. That kind of thing. And so you
know what?
kind of appreciate it.
a lot of folks right now are actually sort of relieved that they're only having to do small elopement type weddings because they don't have to put up with all this stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
They, they're like, well, we're sorry we couldn't invite everybody, but we can't, so we're doing our wedding. And they're happy because, I had some person tell me that, my God, on my side alone, we have 250 people that my parents would expect me to invite.
Yep. And those are only first cousins.
Exactly. Yes, being Latino, we proliferate.
Yeah. But I don't just mean that. I'm talking about just what happens. Everybody becomes a cousin at a wedding. Yeah. So and a lot of people don't want to go for the money anymore for the DJs, for the flowers. They could just
Right.
and I hate to admit it. I'm in the business. I was in the business. I haven't been in the business in a long time, but I could see people being a little gun shy about having big weddings now. They are a lot of money.
Yeah.
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 And you know what? And I hate to say it, weddings these days are like they're like transient visitors. Nobody expects to be together that long. Have you spoken to them? It's I know. I'm going to be with you for 10 years and I'm moving on, something like that. And I think they ought to be contracts.
Marriages are transient.
There's a lot of people who are, excuse me, there's a lot of people who, like the younger couples, they optimistically expect to be together forever. And, many times they're not. But I don't talk about that. I want them to be happy and I want them to be, full of joy. What I'm seeing a lot is couples who are older and maybe on their second and sometimes even third marriage.
Right.
That one tends to stick. They've done this part, they figured out what they did wrong, they found this other person they mesh with more, and it's going to work better. And sometimes the obstacle could be children from one of the marriages, but like I spoke to a couple last night that's coming here to get married in July. They live in Brownsville, Texas, but they're coming here to get married because the groom's father is pretty sick with cancer. So they're going to do a small wedding in their yard and in their parents' yard in Placitas. But they're both on their second marriages. And she was talking about after she got divorced, her kids, at one point, a few years after she got divorced, finally said, Mom, we think you should go out and date because we're okay with that. And we don't want you to end up alone, when you're older. So she did. She got on Match.com and they met and they've been together about 3.5 years now.
Wow.
So it'll be about 4 years by the time they get married. And her son is going to be walking her down the aisle.
Oh, very nice. It reminds me, have you seen a commercial on TV? It's an older woman dating over 50 and you see this woman sit down behind her laptop. I wouldn't even know where to start. You see that commercial? And I'm looking at this woman. This woman has more miles on her than my 1980 Buick. I wouldn't even know where to start. I know you don't, lady. Wink, wink. But it's really funny. I mean, society has changed in so many ways. When I was younger, they couldn't. You guys know. Everybody in the world knows this. You couldn't have a couple. You couldn't even have a double bed in somebody's bedroom if nobody was in it. It gave the wrong connotation.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Wow.
We started watching that show WandaVision. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but they're trapped. She and Vision are trapped into a sitcom, like a 50s sitcom, but it's kind of like progressing. Now it's in the 70s. But they had 2 beds at first, like 2 little twin beds.
Yeah.
And then Wanda used her powers to pull them together.
Right.
And they're like, isn't this better? And they're like, yeah, this is better. And then she used her powers again to turn it into a queen bed instead of 2 twin beds.
Yeah.
It was really
my grandkids told me last night I got to start watching it. I think the 3rd episode is on.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and they've been watching it, and they said I have to start watching it.
But they're using different sets from old shows. Like the first show, it was the set from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah, well,
and then it changed, and then it was the old Dick Van Dyke Show, and then it changed. That's
on Disney. That's on Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's Marvel.
Yeah, my kids told me last night I have to start watching it.
Yeah, it's good. We really enjoyed it.
Done. It's all like cinematic history kind of.
And then the second show, the set was the house from Bewitched.
Oh,
And then
really?
the third show was partly, well, it was partly the Brady Bunch house and then partly another house. It was really interesting the way they did it.
Oh, pretty
Huh.
cool. I'll have to start watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. When we were talking about kids, let me just backtrack a bit. I interviewed a guy named Kenneth Womack last Monday, and Ken is he's an author and he's a professor in a college in Pennsylvania. I know Kenny. He's the expert on the Beatles. He's written
Wow.
the Beatles Encyclopedia. He wrote,
Wow.
the last John Lennon book. That's how, that's why I'm talking to him now. We've been talking again because Ken's book came out in October of last year. I've been helping him kind of talk about the book. But I said to him, you know what? This was a day or two before. It was Monday, so it was before Biden took over. And I was talking to him. I said to him, you know what? What the heck happened to the kids? When we were young, the kids went out and started all of, they kind of ran with the message, I know, because I was in college. I wasn't in college in the 60s, but, I was growing up. I would be out there yelling about the war, whatever it was, racial injustice, and I kept saying to them, what happened to the kids? Just so you know, I'm just going to take a little tangent. My favorite protest marches were the ones that ended with bras burning. Okay. So
I can't
anyway,
imagine why.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Well, I know why, because it was so titillating. So anyway, he said to me, "You're going to be surprised. The kids today happen to be so involved in everything, and they're the ones who aren't going to stand back with this, with the abortion laws going back and the gay laws." He said they're not putting up with that, and they know what to do. They don't, they're not doing stupid things. They're getting online and doing it through social media. They're doing it very, whatever this generation's known for,
Yeah.
And they may not be out in the streets, but they're definitely making a lot of noise. And that kind of made me feel good. And then he said, and don't forget, these kids now, when they cook, they'll go home after school. They don't go home and throw, a hamburger on the grill. They'll make a 3-course meal because these kids were raised on the cooking channel.
Right.
He said, he said
Exactly.
they don't drink Budweiser anymore. They'll only drink an IPA.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or craft
This is
beer.
what
Yeah.
this is what we've done to the generation now. He said it's not a bad thing. I mean, look what these kids grew up with. He said you grew up with, Howdy Doody. I didn't. I'm older than that. But these kids have the they have anything of knowledge they want at their fingertips.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And he said,
And they
and
know
they're
how to use
using it. And he said they're
Yeah.
using it. He said, and
Yes.
they're using it. He said,
Definitely.
so things may not be as drastic as we think they are. They may be, So
Uh-huh.
I know my kids are in their 30s and they're selfish. I guess, they are. And that was that generation. We gave them too much, whatever the heck it was. It's always the parents' fault.
I'm the most giving person I know.
To yourself.
Okay, so I'm right. I am right.
Yeah.
Look, I have two kids, and to be honest with you, they're the two most selfish things in the world. And I know I'm screwed. The older I get, it's like, fuck, I'm on thin ice. I'm not getting help. I think if anything happened, if you find me in a when you go into the junkyards and you're looking for parts for the cars, when I'm gone, they're going to toss me into one of those. I know it. That's where I'm winding up. So anyway,
The spare organ bin.
yeah. What can I get for pancreas that had diabetes? Not a lot. But I'll take it.
Exactly.
So anyway,
Don't give Andy ideas.
I know. He said that the kids today are going to really, they have everything under control.
Well, they will get things under control once we push all the dinosaurs like Mitch McConnell out of the way.
I
Yeah,
agree.
but we should have pushed Biden out of the way too. I think it's a
I
damn
agree.
shame that there wasn't a guy in the background, somebody, they're grooming like another Barack Obama. Didn't have to be African American, like a Kennedy, you know what I mean? Somebody with a
Yeah.
little,
What about this guy? What about Kennedy, the young guy?
he lost this year. He got
Right.
voted out. He
Yeah.
got voted out.
No, didn't he
Nope.
run for, he ran for Senate against Markey in Massachusetts and lost.
Yeah. Yeah, he
And he'd
lost.
given up a seat to run for it, his
Yeah.
congressional seat.
Yeah. Joe Kennedy?
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Kennedy.
Joe Kennedy. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he lost.
He's got the aura of the Kennedy, and
Yes.
that's something. And I want to mention something real quick. When we're talking about the youth and how things changed, where it changed was in the Reagan era. It went from
Yeah, right.
outwardly speaking
Yep.
what you felt and people respecting it to being
Yep.
selfish and I want mine and
There was the uppies.
myself successful. And I think that's kind of carried through right on through Mitch and the whole group.
Yep.
Well, from what I understand is it's starting to wave back the other way, that these kids now aren't putting up with any kind of crap and
Swing back, and really when you look at youth, if you center your whole culture on youth, well, you forget about us, right? The
Yeah,
elders,
yeah.
the people that we should listen to. I mean, we have a lot to say. We don't say it fast, we don't say it quick, but we have a lot to say. And we don't have to rehash every single issue that's coming up because we've already rehashed a lot of those issues. To really kind of turn our attention toward elder knowledge, elder education, and not elder warehousing or those poor guys, they can't take care of themselves and, so on and so forth. And, that came out of Reagan, that came out of that whole
Yeah,
move.
it did.
Warehouse people.
Yeah, that was the me generation.
Yeah, the me generation. I remember back in the day when I was being raised on the ranch, okay, there you go, the Walton kind of thing. But what it was, these were large ranches and they had multiple homes on them. And when old Uncle Fred kind of went off the rails and got a little crazy, well, they had a house for him. I mean, they'd watch out for him. They'd go by his house and they'd make sure he's okay. And they made sure he didn't go downtown and, strip down naked and embarrass the hell out of everybody. Well, that was normal. That wasn't a bear. That was normal activity. And as soon as it changed into the urban, the Reagan era, it changed completely where they don't respect, I don't know if you remember when he closed all those hospitals for mental, when he was governor of California.
Oh yeah. I went to the Willowbrook. You remember Willowbrook?
Yeah.
Back east.
Yeah.
I went to a John Lennon concert. It was the 1-to-1 concert. That's when Geraldo Rivera was still normal, and he kind of put it together. But they shut down a lot of the institutions, the sanitariums.
Well, it's the same thing that happened here in New Mexico under Martinez. She just shut them all down. And I mean, we had a kid that was staying with us that really needed help, and a transgender kid that, he lied to us and told us he had been kicked out, but he'd actually run away from home. We found out later. But he was going to mental health services, and suddenly they were just gone. She cut them off, and they were gone. And there was nothing we could do. We couldn't find anybody to help. It was miserable. I mean, that directly affected us, and we're still suffering from that. We still have a real lack of mental health services in New Mexico because of that. That woman did so much damage to this state. I can't believe
they
it.
say that's why the police are so.
Talks about it seriously because during that period, if you remember, all those people who were actually struggled their whole lives to create an environment to help people were just shut down immediately and without any reason at all, just for personal, political, money-making things. And where it affects me, for instance, right now, as an elder person, my whole care just got disrupted. And it's because an insurance company,
Somebody else is talking.
and so now
Yeah.
I've had to, put everything back in place myself. Well, not everybody has that capability. I mean, not everybody's going to sit on the phone and say, hey, no, I'm not going to do that, or I want to do this.
Right.
They, with half the information, and I just, it all started with that exact person you're talking about. That kind of selfish attitude.
Yeah.
The one statement on that one was when she said, I don't have to turn over the government. I'm just going to visit my friends and my family in Texas.
Yeah.
Out of the state.
And
How'd you
Arizona,
guys-
yeah.
How'd you guys like Bill Richardson as a governor?
We take over. I mean, you
He was
can't
an
do
arrogant asshole, but he did, I'm just being honest. He was an arrogant asshole, but he did some good things for the state.
Yeah.
We have
You see,
Spaceport America
Yeah,
And-
I knew him as a
as a congressman.
no, he used to come to the club. He used to come to the amphitheater I used to run all the time. He was there every
Oh,
show.
cool.
So I used to hang with him, have a couple of drinks. I knew him as a drinking buddy, but and they would help me out. I used to get a lot of tickets at the Journal Pavilion for underage drinkers and stuff.
Wow.
And they were all $500. Well, you know how it goes. Mauro, if you buy a drink and you give it to your 16-year-old niece who happens to be with you, I get the ticket.
Yep.
That's how it was. So I used to bring like tons of tickets to Santa Fe, and they would, get rid of most of them. So that's how I knew the governor, and I knew him as a nice guy. But I understand he has a lot of skeletons in his closet.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of,
Yeah,
a lot of
he
rumors.
was an accomplished man, but he was also a flawed man. And you can say that about like Bill Clinton too.
Uh-huh.
We all have our foibles and our skeletons in a closet. Some of us
Yeah.
have bigger ones than other ones.
Yeah.
If you've ever been down in Arkansas, that whole thing about the land and the water.
I try not to be.
Well, if you ever been down there, it's gorgeous area. I've camped in those areas before, and I can understand why somebody wants to have property in there. I can understand why they want to figure out a way to do it. And I also want to apologize to bringing us back to politics. Eliot, because Gary Johnson, that guy's a real guy. There's no doubt about it. And I took the step out back when Clinton was running, and I voted for Gary because I really thought that he could do a job, and he had support. And I guess they say you're not supposed to do that, right? Because it pulls votes away from the more ideal candidate. But we need to do that. We need to start spreading our wings a little bit and saying, hey, we're not going to put up with the same corporate party baloney anymore. We're gonna establish something real. And he was an opportunity. So
Gary,
get a little
a lot of the things he was fighting for are coming to fruition now.
exactly.
Yeah, we're catching
Well,
up
he was a
with his thoughts.
libertarian. He and let me think. Yes, it was Congresswoman Michelle Lujan Gresham, now Governor Michelle Lujan Gresham. They appeared downtown at a rally for same-sex marriage together.
Yeah.
And they were saying that same-sex marriage should be allowed in New Mexico. And that was, I think it was like 2013 when it was starting to happen. He also advocated for passing marijuana, recreational marijuana,
Yep,
or
yep.
decriminalizing marijuana, because he basically was a big pothead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't like some of his economic stuff, but I guess he was a decent guy. I think I lost respect for him when he said he would veto any bill he didn't understand. And when they passed the state question, red or green, he vetoed it. I'm like, what didn't you understand? Aren't you a real New Mexican? Every New Mexican knows what red or green means.
Yeah, everybody knows. That's right.
Yeah. And he vetoed that. And I still, I went like, okay, you said you're going to veto bills you don't understand. If you don't understand that, you shouldn't be governor of New Mexico.
Well, that's a good point, Mara. I'll tell you, I have my friends in Australia, and they have chili, right?
Mhm.
And I keep reminding them that in New Mexico, chili is king, period. And they don't really understand that you can have a chili plant anywhere. Of course you can. But here, red or green means something. I mean,
Besides Christmas.
you say Hatch chili, you have to know what's going on in Hatch. You're not talking about growing some thing over there and anywhere else in New Mexico even. It's Hatch chili. It's not a brand name. It's, you know, there's something about it. And we're that's New Mexico. We're proud of our chilies. My goodness. I mean, that's a major deal. So.
And Colorado trying to take away our green chili.
Don't take it. I know. Well, there you go. You know, and I'm a red chili guy, so I don't know. So see right away.
I knew you look like a communist.
I know. Totally red. And I'll tell you, it affects everything in my life. How I cook, how I, you know, appreciate my food, how I appreciate the plants to let them stay a little longer so they turn red naturally. Because, you know, people don't talk about that. That's my whole thing. You just let them sit longer, they're going to turn red. So
That's
I
right.
kind of,
like peppers.
yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. And I have that attitude in life. Sometimes we don't want to rush it. We want to sit back and appreciate the change. So see, it's more than just red or green chili. It's a whole attitude of how you live life.
So do you grow in your own chilies?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I grow people, Elliot. You know,
Like Cabbage Patch Kids?
Yeah. Do you grow people or just bury bodies?
Well,
Is anything growing?
yeah.
Do you remember a movie? It was a spoof of horror movies called Motel Hell. And it was about this farmer that made the best sausage on the planet. And he set something up. So there was a turn in the road, but people would miss it and hit the tree. And then they'd wake up with, you know, buried up to here to their necks in the ground. And the farmer would come by and feed them. And he was making sausages out of the people.
Yeah.
It was called
I saw that on Turner Classic not too long ago.
Yeah, it's a hilarious movie.
Okay. Yeah, like in the middle of the night one night, I think it was on. Do you remember Attack of the Giant Tomatoes?
Yes.
The Killer Tomatoes?
Yes.
Those were always in the midnight movies back then.
That was fun. That sounds fun.
That was always on at the the midnight theaters. Me and my friends would hang out every night, midnight, and go catch a Marx Brothers movie, or Freaks always played. Todd Browning's movie Freaks and the Andalusian Dog. All these crazy movies.
We did Rocky Horror Picture Show every Friday night.
Every Friday night was Rocky Horror. Friday and Saturday, I think they played it at midnight.
And then there was a movie called Wizards. Do you remember that one? It was an animated
the cartoon.
Yeah.
You remember the last line of the movie?
Yes, that was an amazing movie.
You remember the little wizard?
Yes.
And he zaps his brother and he kills his brother and he says to him, "Man, when did you learn that spell?" And he said, "I learned it at home with Mom when you were out fucking around."
Yeah. I want to throw something out real quick. You know that what we did, which is pretty cool for radio. I was living in Denver, and we would get together and put on one of those old black and white, really B/C rated movies, and we'd turn the sound off just with a picture, and there was a local alternative radio station, and they'd be watching the same movie, and these guys would ad-lib the whole movie. They would ad-lib it, and it was the most hilarious thing.
Yeah.
I just loved it. Every Friday night we were there watching those guys ad-lib those movies. It was awesome.
That sounds like
pretty
fun.
cool. Yeah, what's his name did a movie like that? Woody Allen. Remember what's up, Tiger Lily? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
It's a spy movie that he ad-libbed. And I don't know what the original movie what they were getting at, but his movie became, they were looking for the greatest chicken salad recipe. And you get that's what it was, the ad-lib to that. It was a great movie. It was really great. But we used to go to the midnight shows all the time. I was just telling Laura the other day, the midnight movies were great. First of all, you had to get into the right spirit for it. So it depended what movie was playing, and it would be you'd smoke a joint, or if it was a crazy movie, you do something a little crazier. You get into the spirit of the movie, and just as you were like kind of up there and just in a nice place, Harpo would start playing the harp, and everybody would fall asleep. It's like 1, 2 in the morning already. Harpo would start playing, and all you would hear is. Yeah, it's just funny. The other day we were talking about that.
I remember going to see the Grateful Dead movie, and when I was at Towson State in Baltimore on an exchange program, went with a bunch of friends, and we were just like super high. We were so excited for the Grateful Dead movie, and I don't think one of us lasted through the movie without falling asleep because we were so blasted.
I know. But yeah, that's what Harpo would do to you. He just like knocked the crap out of you. After a long day, you needed that.
Exactly.
But Mauro, you're talking about the Grateful Dead movie. Dave, this is interesting for you. You're talking about Australia. The man who did that movie, a friend of mine, a guy named Sam Cutler, he was the guy who kind of herded the dead together and got them from show to show. He's living in Australia now, Dave. He bought a Harley three-wheeler because he's older now, and the heavy. And he's just driving around Australia. He was living in a tour bus for a while, and he just moved into an apartment. But he said he has such a good life there that the government helps seniors. The government actually, they take care of the seniors. They give them an allowance for an apartment, all kinds of pretty neat stuff.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. He's from the UK originally. And he lived in the States for the longest time, and he toured. He was the tour manager for the Rolling Stones and the Grateful Dead.
Wow.
Yeah, what happened was.
What a job that would be.
Do you remember Altamont? Do you remember Altamont?
Yeah. Yeah.
When that kid got killed.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was the Rolling Stones, the Grateful Dead was supposed to be on that show, and they canceled when they flew in and saw what was going on. They took the helicopter right back out. And they were actually putting it together with the Stones. And anyway, the Stones, the guy got killed the next day, the Stones are the Stones. They flew back to the UK and left Sam Cutler behind to deal with the Hells Angels.
Damn.
Yeah. So the Angels took Sam. Sam moved in what's his name? The drummer from the Grateful Dead, Mickey Hart, said to Sam, you have no place to stay. The Stones left. Did they leave you any money? He said, nah, they left me with nothing. He said, well, come stay with me. So he moved into Mickey Hart's place the first night, and the Angels knew where he was, and they all came out there and they sat him down. And he said, look, what do you want me to do? I'm their road manager, the tour coordinator. That's all I did, blah, blah, blah. He said, I do have some clout with the Stones, but they left me here. I'm here, I'm alone. And anyway, the Stones, the Grateful Dead said, well, if there's any videos and movies out there, we want them.
Yeah.
So, they delivered them to, so he made sure they got them. And that's why there's such a small part in the movie, Give Me Shelter. There's not a lot of angel stuff going on. But anyway, so he took the hit for the Stones pretty hard. And then Garcia said, come move in with me and we'll give you the job. That's how he transposed over to the Grateful Dead. And anyway, years later, some tough guy sits him down. He says, we're going out for dinner. This guy was involved in the Altamont show. And Sam microdosed his water. The guy went to the bathroom, so he microdosed his water with LSD, because that was the that was the Dead's thing. And the guy comes back to the table, he sits down, and Sam says to him, I'm going to go to the bathroom now, okay? And he gets up and he leaves the restaurant.
Oh, no.
And he leaves this guy tripping in the middle of the restaurant. The guy had no idea what hit him. And, that's how he got back at these guys. But anyway, Sam's in Australia. He's the greatest guy. He's like, he's like your contemporary age-wise and everything else. And he would love a new friend out there. So if you're doing anything, you let me know.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Australia.
Yeah, Sam does interviews with me. We do them at 12 o'clock his time. That's 8 o'clock, I think, our time. So 12 in the
8 a.m.
afternoon.
It'll be
Yeah.
8 a.m.
Or 8 p.m. 8 p.m. here.
Yeah, 8 p.m. here is 12 noon there the next day.
Yeah, the next
Yeah,
day.
so-
And you know what's really amazing this, because I really am almost Australian, but when this whole
When did that happen?
week or so, they're very interested. My friends were really following this because they followed the debates, they followed the whole
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and they've got that day ahead thing, right? So they think they
Yep.
got it weird. And of course, I say no, they don't. You don't have a wired. And I start sending off information that I'm getting, which is happening right now.
Uh-huh.
I see a face behind you.
It's
But
my
yeah,
grandson.
it's,
Yes, you know.
extremely interested in the United States.
What's
And
that?
Yeah.
really good perspective on that. Yeah, you had a little elf behind you there, Elliot.
What's that?
You had a little elf up here behind you.
Yeah, that's my grandson. This is Ian. That was Ian.
Yeah. Well, why
Yeah.
isn't he talking?
Actually, I called them Eric and Lyle. That's what I call my grandkids. You know who Eric and Lyle were? You guys remember the Melendez brothers, the guys who killed their
Yes.
parents?
Yes,
That's
I
what I
knew
call
that
these
sounded
two.
familiar.
Yeah, Eric and Lyle. That's my two grandkids.
I would be careful calling them that. You might give them ideas.
I know. I know.
A little bit. If he can
What's
put
that?
his face in there, he should say a few words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switch that
Who?
camera there. Let's hear what he's going on.
Who, Ian?
Old guy.
Ian's in trouble today.
Uh-oh.
He shares my office with me during the week, and I found out yesterday he hasn't turned in the last 3 or 4 projects that he was supposed to.
Ooh.
And so anyway, I was looking at his grades. They put him up, and he had like a 40 in math. I said to him, "How the hell did that happen? You're good at math." "Oh, I don't know." So I delved a little deeper. He hasn't turned in his last 3 or 4 things, and I had him do 2 yesterday, and so his grades came up to 70 already, and he's going to do 2 today. Ian, come over here. I want you to meet some friends of mine.
Yeah.
And you don't want to mess with these guys. These are tough guys.
Hey.
Hey, Ian.
So
How you doing?
that's Andy, that's Morrow, and that's David.
Hey.
This
going
this
on?
is Ian. Ian is my best buddy, but I got to keep an eye on him. A little shifty.
right.
You got to turn in those math projects.
Yeah, say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
How you doing?
He's a good kid, and yeah, so me and him share an office, so he gets the brunt of it. He gets to hear me fighting with rock stars during the week, and and everything else. So he could tell you all my appointments for me. Yeah. Who in Santana am I mad at?
Carabella?
Yeah, Carabella. See, he knows everything.
That's
Go.
funny.
Yeah, Michael Carabella. Yeah, me and Carabella are fighting. But anyway, it's hard. These kids are learning on their own now. It's not easy for them. It's too much distractions. I see him sitting here, and he's supposed to be, doing his homework. And I'll find him doing these.
Hey. Hey, nice kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's definitely learning how to draw, but it's not helping his math.
Yeah. True, man. True.
That's funny.
And he happens to be great.
A hint on that, Elliot? One little hint on that? Hold up that picture again. Just hold that picture up. Okay, you want to teach math? Find the triangle and measure them.
Yeah.
And he'll
I
do
know.
that. He'll do that.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the math he's in now. He's doing ratios, and yes.
You could do, what's the ratio between that drawing's head and his body?
Well, right now it's what's the ratio between my hand hitting his ass. Yeah. So Yeah, what was her name? Rita Hayworth. I'll tell you what she said. I never laid a hand on those fucking kids. Rita Hayworth's kids brought her up to abuse. I never
Yeah.
laid a hand on those fucking
We have to
kids.
say, you know, teach art. Art teaches everything. You know,
Yeah,
the
well,
science
he's
teaches
taking an art class. He's taking
well,
art in school.
in art class, the science of art, the movement
Yeah.
of art. I mean, you know, it's not just a picture on a wall. It's not just a group of colors. It's how you think about it, the composition of the color, the method by which you use. I mean, all of that, you could teach every subject, history, science, mathematics, whatever you want to teach through art. Start with art,
Okay.
add it in there. I mean, you'd be amazing because I'll tell you one thing, what lasts in human culture is art. The
No,
thousands of years that we study is art.
you know what's great though for math actually is music.
Well, yeah, look at the anything, any of the statues, the writings, you know,
Yeah.
1,000-year-old. It's basically art. It's an art form we study.
Oh, Dave, did you listen to Artie Kornfeld and me this week?
I do.
Yeah, well, Artie, I did the thing with Artie, but I got a phone call from Artie's partner, Michael Lang, the other guy in Woodstock. He's going to be on the show as well.
Cool.
You remember the movie Woodstock? You guys remember that movie?
Yeah.
Remember the
Definitely.
curly-haired kid on the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Michael Lang. He's
Cool.
one of the producers. So I have both
Wow.
producers on, Lang and Kornfeld. And yeah, these are the guys who gave us Woodstock. So, I know David was on the phone. He spoke to Artie a few months ago.
I absolutely
cool.
did. And I was
Yeah.
quite honored to be involved. You know what? I'll do that again in a second. All you
Everybody
gotta-
loves Artie. As Artie's getting older, he's getting a little more, I'll say, eccentric. And Artie lives on the East Coast, and I'll get calls at 4:00 in the morning, and I'll pick up. Artie, is everything okay? Yeah, what's wrong? I said, what the hell are you calling me for? Oh, I started watching Morning Joe, and I thought you'd like to talk about it. I said, Artie, it's 4:00 in the morning here. He says, well, I've been up all night. I said, yeah, but I haven't. So that kind of thing. It's, Artie's great, but there's nobody in the world, I think, that knows more than that era than Artie does. He was involved with everybody.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I'll be doing Dave, I'll be doing a monthly morning thing with Artie. Once a month, me and Artie will be getting on the radio together, on the TTT radio network, of course. And, Artie takes phone calls. He loves to talk to his fans. And he's that whole 1960, mid-60 love generation thing, all enclosed,
Well, what you described about him and how he's been involved literally in my past, in my growing up and my culture and everything that formed me as a human being, the stuff that I was just watching peripherally, this guy is orchestrating. And, we just got to honor that. There's no doubt in my mind about it.
Yeah.
That's the honor we need to give elder statesmen. We mention him in politics. Elder statesman is who you want to listen to.
You do up to a point. The elder statements know a lot about life, and they know a lot about things in general. But when it comes to kind of like the micro learning, you still need young people. You have to listen to the young scientists, the young doctors, the young this, the young that. And I think if you combine that with the elderly's wisdom and knowledge about how they've got to that age, how they survived, then you got a perfect world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, David, do you have any stories today?
You want a story? Oh, I would love to give a story. I want to introduce it by saying, first of all,
wait a minute. Before you start, it has to be a short story because we only have 2.5 days. No. You have 15 minutes to tell the story because I have to start shutting down the show. Okay?
15 minutes. All right.
Okay.
So,
Let me introduce you. Hold on. I'd like to introduce the one and only
time is there, but check it
David
out.
Watt.
Storytelling is a powerful tool to bring out our
Yes.
heart and soul, to describe the world around us and allow us to be involved in that story real time. So we know about the little prairie dogs. We've talked about prairie dogs. I don't know if you remember, but it's a teaching story about the little guy who learns from his grandpa, how to use his skills. Okay, so this is real life. Prairie dogs welcome the sun every day. They stand out on their burrows and they sit up and they watch the sun. So this is my story. As we know, the little prairie dog, he was the smallest one. He was taken in by his grandpa, who would sit up there earliest of all prairie dogs, and he would listen for the sun. The young man didn't know what was going on, but he still sat there with his grandpa, and he learned how to listen to the sun. And the sun would speak every single day. When the sun came up, the sun would speak. Nobody was talking, no sounds were evident, but the sun would speak. And the grandfather realized that this young man could sing the song of salvation in a lot of ways, because the sun would speak to him, sing out from his heart. And when he sang out, other prairie dogs would come out of their burrows and they would listen to this song as they introduced the day for a whole new day. So we know that the little prairie dog had learned how to listen, how to sing, how to use his soul to broadcast out the message. And the grandfather was really intrigued by this because he was getting older. I mean, he was getting old. The poor guy could hardly make it out there on the top of that mound every day. And he was worried that he was going to lose what he had spent his whole life to do, which was bring harmony and peace to the people around him. So he began to teach the young prairie dog little things like quiet talk, like self-reflection, like wonder in the world. The world is a constant place of wonder. And like learning how to love your neighbors and apply all of these things to the neighbors and the people around you. Well, the young prairie dog, he was young. He did listen to some, not all. He found out that the more he listened, the more he began to lose his attachment to his young neighbors. Well, the grandfather realized this. So what he did was he told the young prairie dog, you need to go out away from the burrow. You need to go out and talk to people. Don't stay home. Don't stay in your own little place. Speak the truth as you see it. Help your people. Your people need you. Well, the young prairie dog tried this a little bit, and they thought he was kind of odd because he's that little guy sitting up there singing on the mound, listening to the sun, and nobody heard the sun. He heard the sun, and he sang it out. And as he sang it out, he began to sing a good song, and people began to listen to him. And before you know it, the song got bigger and bigger. And not only that, but the song began to echo, and it would echo back. And he would sing out in the morning, and it would echo back. And he realized there are other people singing his song. So he would sing his song to the sun, listening to the sun. He would sing his song to the sun, listening to the sun, and they would echo back by young voices and old voices and all the voices around him. And his neighbors learned to love the day. They learned to be ready for everything that's going on. They learned to listen to the quiet things. They learned to have quiet talks. They learned to associate with each other and to love. They appreciated the sun and the bounty around them and the health. They believed. And in silence, they learned that you don't have to be unreasonable, that you can silence the unreasonable by being silent and not arguing against it. So the young prairie dog, as he went through his life, his grandfather eventually faded away and passed on. And he took this little spot in his heart that he realized if he welcomed the sun every morning and sang his song with truth and honesty, that his song would be echoed back by all the people he loved. And that is my story.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another
You know,
great start.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, guys, that of course, this is in my heart. This is how I've learned how to express myself more than anything else. And these things are in that head going around and around and around and around. Well, there's an observation part of it. And the science part is, if you've ever watched prairie dogs, that's exactly what they do. They sit out on top of their burrow and they welcome the sun every single morning. And when the sun goes down, they turn around and they face the west and they welcome the sun out every single morning. Now, I'm not going to speculate on why they do that, but they do it. And that's the most important part, that they do it. So we can learn from this. We need to open ourselves up a little bit and listen and not be unreasonable, right? So there you go.
Well, Dave, your stories are always great, and there's always something to learn. And like I always tell people, they're a great start to the week, a good end to the week. If you're if you work too hard, your stories bring you, kind of back to reality. And I want to thank you for that.
Well, you
So,
bet. And I'm
gentlemen,
gonna throw out a plug right here, because part of what I'm talking about working with you guys right here, this little group that is so powerful with so many messages to give people that really hold true to our heart. There's a love that's of the heart right here. And I would like to throw out that, there's a training involved in how to tell a story. It's not sitting up there in front of a camera and saying, I use XYZ product, look at me. No, it's about learning how to listen to yourself and allowing yourself to overcome your fears and your inequities, to center yourself on the true belief that you have, whatever that belief may be. And there's a series of lessons on that. And I would really like to teach that out into the world through virtually connecting with people. And I think it's a very powerful way. I think we're ready for this. So
well, let's put our heads together and see what we can work out and what we can come up with. And I'm willing to help. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And this is a great time to do it. There's a lot of people who are sheltered, who can't get out, who are afraid to go out, who are sick. This whole pandemic thing ruined society.
My little old truck, my little Ford truck.
Yeah.
I to get that down to your shop, because that's our seed to harvest truck.
Yeah.
We need to get it down there and, get it looking better than some old man beat up truck. Because it's a wonderful machine, and it delivers square footers, and it gets us around, and it should be recognizable. We could do a little art bit on it. We could really make it special, and get to know what's going on with it. And I think that's where it should go, is to your shop. Now, you remember that that's the only way I get around. So there's a lot of mechanics in reality of life, of course, but we need to get a plan on this. We need
Okay.
to, all right.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I know. Of course, it sounds good.
And if you notice, David gave himself a 2-minute commercial. Oh, David. So we'll put our heads together. We'll come up with some kind of a plan. And guys, we've been on for over 90 minutes already.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you guys go. And I'm glad that it was a lot more fun than the last couple of shows have been. We got to laugh a little today.
Yeah.
And
we're in the middle of a new administration.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm glad Chastity Beltoff will be here next Saturday, guys.
All right.
Again, I apologize. Sore throat and cough, and she likes to look her best when she's
Yep.
in the public. So we're going to give her a pass today. We hope to see her next Saturday. And guys, remember, Not Your Mother's Bridal Show is the mechanics are starting to kick in again. I'm hoping for that date in September, and I'll talk to everybody about that. We have a lot to catch up on. We're hoping to do the wedding show this year, and with any
Yes.
luck, we'll be able to get out there and do some more Halloween show, with any luck by that time of the year, we'll be allowed to do a little socializing.
Which would be really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just listen to Dr. Fauci. Wasn't it wonderful to see him all relieved and he can finally talk? I mean, there's
Good.
good things going on right now. It's amazing.
There are, and it's good. I'm glad. We all need that positive thing, and it didn't come a minute too soon. But it's something kind of pulled my heartstrings the other night. You know that guy? What's his name? The historian is always on MSNBC. Beshloff. You know Beshloff?
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually thanked Brian Williams for keeping everybody calm for the last 4 years.
Nice.
That's
I
cool.
don't know if you guys watch Brian Williams.
Some,
on
yeah.
MSNBC late at night.
Yeah.
And he did. He kind of he had a calming effect on everybody. And when it was kind of brought down the open, I kind of felt it. I felt really, and I used to tell Laura, we'd be, upstairs and getting ready for bed and whatever. And we'd be getting ready for bed. She'd be getting the whips out, and I'd be tied to the bed. No, I'm just fooling. I'm fooling. My grandson just swallowed his tongue. Anyway, I'd say to Lloyd, I like watching Brian Williams at the end of the night for some reason. It's kind of like watching this guy, and that's the reason why I didn't realize it. He did. He kept a calming effect on the masses.
Yeah.
And it takes a pro to do that, and he did a great job.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm gonna let everybody go. It's next Saturday, same bat time, same bat station.
Panel, yeah.
David, you work out the time and details. We'll get a Zoom meeting going one night this week. I'm free.
I'm going to work with Mauro a little bit on this because, you're the busy guy and I understand that.
Just let me know. I'll make it happen. So just let me know when we're doing it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I love you guys.
Yeah, we love you too.
Yes.
Everybody have fun.
Yeah, and Andy, I have to start adding you to the show, to the usual suspect roster that comes out every Saturday.
Yeah.
Where's the
Now
Mohawk?
that the Mohawk is
I don't
gone.
wanna-
Where's the
Yeah,
Mohawk?
I see. You know what? I share an office with my grandson now, the older of the two, and he walks up behind me the other day, and he's looking over my shoulder, and he says, "Boy, Pops, you got a big bald spot in the back of your head." And I felt like saying to him, that's why I don't look at the back of my head.
Exactly. If I can't see it, it's not there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah, looking at me, I look like I have a full head of hair. Back here, I kind of look like something lacking. Okay, my friends, I'll see you next Saturday. So stay safe, stay well, and we'll talk. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
and
take care.
Good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for spending the morning with us today. Mauro, Walden Montoya, Andy, and of course David Wiley. I'm here alone now, and I'll play some music. This one's Spiritual High, and you'll notice that Chrissy Hines does the vocals on this one. It's for a band that's called Mood Swings. Mood Swings consisted of the Pretenders drummer, as a lead member of this band. Great electronic band. Here we go. Was that the door?
No.
Yeah, who was it? Go see.
Are you done?
What?
Are you done?
Touching my body, my soul.
Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah.
Be the body of your love. Just Be the temple of your heart, be the body of your love. Just find holy water to marry. Yes, I do know how I survive. Yes, I do know what I love. True love and live with you. Day by day by day. Time again, and I said we would do, we will see. See it all in its wisdom here. It's true for love. The state of independent shall be. The state of independent shall be.
know what that is? You doing your work?
Yeah, I'm seeing all my grades in the power school is, but I can't log in. I'm on the final thing in math.
What?
I'm on the thing in math. The final thing in math. In math, I have to do today. Like for this week.
Okay.
Come here, Fez. Come here. Today I'm gonna be playing with my friend Silas at 1 o'clock.
What?
Today I'm gonna be playing with my friend Silas at 1 o'clock.
Later.
I know, at 1. I'm playing with him at 1.
You can't do nothing unless your math's done.
I know. I'm playing with him at 1 after my math. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay. Okay, that was Bad Manners and Just a Feeling. And Just a Feeling show's gonna get bigger and bigger on Saturdays. We're getting more and more of a following, and I think it's gonna be a great year for us. And I'd like to, one more closeout one by Dr. Feelgood. And the name of this tune is Roxette. Just a fun tune. I don't know why I'm playing it. I just kind of love Dr. Feelgood. He was always a big Wilco Johnson fan. So here we go. Roxette, Dr. Feelgood. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Mountain, 9 o'clock Pacific, and let's see, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. It's 8 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern time. And we're going to have some fun tomorrow night, so don't miss the show. Here we go, Roxette. Okay, I'm done. Crazy. Again, before you take your test, I'll be down, okay?
Alright. Even per number of hours of driving. Oh, Oh, there's a shadow. Hey, Papa?
Yeah.
Can I have help with this question, please?
What?
Can I have help with this question I'm on, please?
Can you what?
Have help with this question I'm on, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Wait, are you still recording?
No.
Oh,
That's pretty cool, right?
yeah,
Cool handle, right?
yeah. Nice. You should play this game called 50 Room Escape Room. It's pretty fun.
An escape room?
Yeah.
What do you need help with?
This question I'm on. It's a video game though. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. How'd you like Wanda World yesterday?
WandaVision?
Yeah.